As you know, this novel, it's historical because it's set in 1857 Delhi. And while so far I've been talking about the romance of Alakara and Mirza Kaisar and the customs and the ceremonies in the Qila, today I'd like to read out a passage about the 1857 uprising itself, the siege of Delhi and the fall of Delhi. There are many events. One of them, which is the event on the 16th of May, when European men, women, and children were massacred, mostly women and children. 56 of them who had taken shelter in the Red Fort were massacred by the, let me say in inverted commas, the mutineers. The Badshah and had kept protesting it, which you'll find in the book. It's described by Zahir Dehlvi. Bahadur Shah Zafar kept saying that in no religion is it permitted that innocents be slaughtered. But as they say, हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, सर पे जब खून सवार होता है, तो ये जो सवार थे, कैवलरी ऑफिसर्स थे और जो बाकी सोल्जर्स थे जो आए थे मेरठ से और दिल्ली के, what they had done was that they had released criminals from the jail also, and that is what led to so much of widespread loot and murder. So this chapter is chapter 31 from my book. It's called Knaves in a Kingdom of Fools. The next day, as Nasiban and Mubarak were walking to the Qila, they heard the dhobis of Kucha Mir Ashik engaged in a loud discussion. The two friends stopped to talk to them and asked the news. The dhobis went everywhere, to every area, and so they knew the latest news. They were discussing the massacre of 16th May. 2 carts were brought in and laden up with bodies. The palace sweepers took the carts towards the Slimgarh fort, where the corpses were thrown into the river. There were 52 bodies in all. All but 5 or 6 were women and children. How do you know the exact number, Maniram? Asked a dhobi sitting next to him. The sweeper, Chuni Lal, told me, and we will soon know how many are involved with the murder, for their clothes will come to us for washing, replied Maniram. The 2 women shook their heads and walked towards the fort. This was turning out disastrously. The residents of the city were miserable and had no recourse to justice. They were praying to God to help them get rid of this unforeseen, unexpected evil. All they wanted was to find peace so that the city could go back to normal, and the oppressors left it and went away. There was no concept of nationhood or nationality in the 19th century Delhi, and the mutineers, as I said in inverted corners, when they came, and it resulted in a lot of mayhem and loot and murder. The city actually turned against them. Now that Mufti Azurda had joined the Hindustani cause. Mufti Sadruddin Azurda had been employed by the company Bahadur, drawing a salary of 1200 rupees per month from the company and getting a stipend of 2 rupees 50 paisa from the Badshah Salamat. His love for the Badshah was such that he had always valued those 2.5 rupees more than the 1200. Now he was happy to throw away the salary and serve the cause of the Hindustanis under Shahanshah Hind Abu Zafar Sirajuddin Muhammad Bahadur Shah Badshah Qasi. Kaisar also took permission from his father and wife and presented himself before Mirza Mughal. Mirza Mughal had been made the commander-in-chief. He was made the commander of 1 regiment. Money and resources were becoming a huge problem. At the Diwan-e-Khas, where Kaisar was present, he heard orders given that a salary of 30 rupees was to be given to the Sawars, and infantry sepoys would get 10 rupees per month to carry out their functions. Troops were coming from Jalandhar to Firozpur, Sikandra, Hansi to support the Shahanshah-e-Hind, money from the treasury such as Palwal, Hansi and Mathura. A rebel constitution was formed as well as a council. All efforts were being made to control the soldiers, for while the residents of Shahjahanabad had welcomed the soldiers, their brutish ways, loot and plunder had turned the people against him. Thakur Sahab, Mir Sahab, Imam Sahab were using Bhure Khan's network to try and reach out to them and make them understand the importance of the work at hand and their erroneous way, which was antagonizing everyone. Even the courtesans who had helped the rebels were turning against them, as they would arrive unannounced and take whichever girl they liked and behave roughly with them.